What is up, everyone? We are going live shortly in the last matchup of the quarterfinals. We got the 5-5 Matthew Chen versus the 2-1 Sophie Planos. This is going to be a great match. Hopefully, you guys stay tuned until the end of the match, and hopefully, this is going to be a great one. Starting right now. Preference, or are you worried against one of them?
Obviously, I really want to face Matthew, but that's basically like a guaranteed loss for me.
I mean, we have very similar strengths, so it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out.
Welcome back, everyone, to another Real Trivia Face-Off. We are back in the summer tournament as we are continuing on here in the quarterfinals. We have four matches in the quarterfinals. As something dropped from Nachi's end. Hopefully that's just a pen or another phone. But as you can already see, I'm joined by Naganachiket right here and the hosting chair, the current champion of the Real Trivia Face-Off singles division. Nachi, how are you feeling today?
I'm fantastic. Thank you for having me here.
Mm-hmm. We have a great match here. This is the last match in the quarterfinals. We have Matthew Chen, which you're somewhat familiar with. You faced him before. And we also have somewhat of a newcomer in Sophie Planos. What are you expecting from today's match?
I'm very excited. I know for sure Matthew is a great player, and both of them seem to have a lot of strengths. So this might be like a high-scoring match. Mm-hmm. And I think the last round will be the decider.
Yeah, you think the last round will be a decider. I think the first round will be a decider. I think their strengths are very similar. In terms of the wheel, we'll see what happens. The luck always plays a factor in terms of these games, as well as the last round. But, the first round, it might be make or break initially right off the bat, because that will be the difference maker. Once again, they have very similar strengths. Maybe just like minor difference here and there. But yeah, this is going to be a very good match, a very fun one, and I'm excited to see how it's going to go. And yeah, of course, we've already seen the bracket. We've already know who are the three semifinalists so far, and we're just finding out the last one here in the top right corner. So you know what? Enough from us. Let's hear what our competitors have to say, starting with the Groovy, Sophie Planos.
Hey, everyone. I got my wish, as you saw in the beginning, where I wanted to play against Matthew. And it may or may not be a guaranteed loss. I'm gonna put up a good fight. We'll see what happens. I'm excited to play Matthew. He's great. He's the one that got me into this. So it's kind of poetic in a way, but I hope I kick his ass.
All right, so that was Sophie Planos' promo. We'll talk about it soon, but before that, let's hear what Matthew Chen have to say about that promo.
Yeah, no, I'm excited. I brought Sophie into this. But I think this is going to be a layup. This is a warm-up match for Sasha. I got these peaches, and Sophie's the maid from Parasite. So I'm ready.
Oh, wow. Okay, so Nachi, and your thoughts on that promos?
Oh, some fiery words were thrown at each other, and there seems to be some ass-kicking that might be happening in this match.
Yeah, Matthew Chen seems very confident. And yeah, like they said, Matthew Chen introduced Sophie to me, and she wanted to play. I'm like, all right, sure, let's see what you got. I'll let her play. She's proven herself, obviously, and now she's facing the person who invited her to the league. So yeah, this is going to be fun. I thought they were friends, but after Matthew's promos, I don't think they're going to be friends anymore. It seems like there's some kind of bad blood between them, So we'll see what happens. Yeah, someone's cooking beef right here. All right, so before we get to the introductions, of course, our friend Andrew just in the live chat saying Nachi and Albert that that is correct. That is Nachi, indeed, the current champion. And Matt Carnahan saying no, round one is not important. I would disagree. Your stats prove it to be Yeah, whatever. Anyway, let's just get started with this player introductions. You ready, Nachi?
I am.
All right. Introducing first. With a record of 2 wins, 1 defeat, and 1 technical knockout, it is the Groovy Sophie Planos! Alright.
There are despots and
And her opponent, with a record of 5 wins, 5 defeat, and 4 technical knockout, he was the former #1 contender. It is the mysterious one, Matthew Chen. Oh, he's just eating peaches right now. All right. Let's lower the music right there and put everyone on screen. Okay, so competitors, are you excited for today's match? Are you guys ready? You have anything to say before we get started?
The peaches was a nice touch. I like that a lot. That was funny.
All right then. So let's hold on real quick. Let's just move that around. Nope, that is not what I wanted. Let's put Nachi on the left side. Left side. Yes, left side with me in the hosting table right here today. So let's go to the rules here for round number 1. Nachi, would you like to have the honors of reading the rules for round number 1?
Oh, yeah, sure. As usual, we have 8 questions in random categories given to all competitors. And you have 15 seconds to write down the answers. And all questions are worth 1 point. And if you get a perfect round, you get 1 bonus question. And you each get 3 repeats and challenges.
Mm-hmm. You guys know the rules. Any questions before we get started? No? Okay. All right, sounds good. And I'll be starting it off here with the first question in round number 1 in the category of fantasy/sci-fi. Here's your question. In what 2005 sci-fi film would you find cannibal pirate creatures named Reavers? You know, I wish I never encountered a cannibal pirate creature in my life. That sounds terrifying.
I mean, judging by how 2020 is going, I wouldn't be surprised if I see one this year.
No. Let's hope that don't happen. And we'll need answers in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down. We'll start with Matthew.
Is it Serenity?
And Sophie.
I didn't get anything.
Serenity is correct for 1 point. So Matthew with an early 1 point lead.
All right.
Release date, really.
Question number 2 in the category of comedies. Haha. What name does Fogel get on his fake ID in Superbad?
Yeah, Superbad. It was a pretty fun film. I've only recently saw it, but I still like it.
Oh,
It's
so
one of those
great.
iconic movies that every person in high school must watch.
Yeah, I agree. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down. Start with Sophie
I am McLovin.
and Matthew.
McLovin.
Indeed it is.
Proud of them getting that right. McLovin. Probably the worst name ever in a fake ID, but oh well.
It's so great. That's what makes the movie iconic.
Yeah, but in real life, that will be horrible. All right, as we move on to the third question here in the category of dramas film. What is the... Oh, so hold on, there's notification coming in. Okay. What is the profession of Zach Galifianakis' character in Birdman? Or if you need a full title, Birdman or the Unexpected Virtue of It. Yeah, what is his profession? Huh. Yeah. This one was 1 take. It was pretty impressive.
So 1 take?
For the most part. 5, 4. They at least they cut it into like a 1 take. 3,
Yeah, they made special cuts, I think.
1. Hands down. Start with Matthew.
Sorry, my sketchpad is acting up right now. Oh no.
Sophie.
Okay,
An actor? I don't know. I've never seen it.
Do you have anything, Matthew?
I have it now. Manager?
Okay, is incorrect. We're looking for lawyer.
Lawyer.
Right there.
That seems to be the go-to answer with like profession questions now. Like I've noticed a trend.
Is it? I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, you
It could
asked.
be.
That was a question. I remember a question about what was Richard Gere's profession, and Pretty Woman was a lawyer, and I'm like, what are these lawyers' questions?
Well, it might be coincidence. It might be not.
Coincidence.
There's only one legal right answer.
I see what you did.
All right, question number 4 in the category of directors. Who has directed the most theatrically released Batman films?
And we'll give you 20 seconds for this one. I think I've seen all but one theatrically released Batman films.
Well, Batman's my second favorite superhero of all time, so I've watched most of them.
Yeah. All right. Let's see if they know who directed it in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pants down. We'll start with Sophie
I put Christopher Nolan.
and Matthew.
Yeah, it's Christopher Nolan.
Both
That is indeed correct.
Christopher Nolan directing 3.
Cool.
Okay. As now we move on to the 5th question here in round number 1 in the category of action/adventure. Who played as the villainous Hans Gruber in Die Hard? Matthew, Christmas film or not Christmas film? Die Hard. That's like the big question. No, not Matthew. Not I mean, Matthew.
It's
Christmas
definitely
film.
a Christmas film.
You think? I agree. I agree. Let's see.
Any movie that takes place in Christmas and has a happy ending.
4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down. Matthew.
Alan Rickman?
Sophie.
Obviously, Alan Rickman.
All right, Sophie getting that as well. She looked kind of flustered a little bit in the beginning of the question, but she managed to pull it off with that.
Because at first I thought of Bruce Willis because I got excited when you said Die Hard. I was like, I know some of the actors in this, and then I remembered villainous. I was like, oh, okay, well it's not Bruce Willis. He's the hero.
Yeah, that's true. And with that, current score is 4-3, with Matthew leading with a 1-point lead so far. Tight game so far.
All right. I get to say penultimate question this time. So
No, it's not. This is still question number
This is the
6.
sixth,
It's not
yeah.
penultimate. I get to say penultimate.
oh no. All right. So question number 6 in the category of horror and thriller. You can find the character of Marion Crane and Norman Bates in which classic horror? The doy.
Horror movie with classical music. Is that what you're saying? Also, I asked you if you want to pick the odd or even one, and then you said the even one. So it's your loss that you didn't get to say penultimate. Not you.
I can't math. I'm sorry.
4, 3, 2, 1. Hands down. We'll start again with Sophie.
I don't know anything. I put Bates Motel.
Matthew.
That's a thing. I don't know if that's a thing. Ah ha ha.
What's the
It's
answer?
indeed Psycho.
Of course. I've never seen it.
All right. So with that, Matthew takes a 2-point lead so far. But let's see if Sophie can catch up or keep the gap close at least for the last 2 questions here in round number 1. And now the penultimate question, round number 1, is in the category of animated films. Films that are hand-drawn or made by a computer. And here's your question. Who voices Mrs. Potts in 1991's Beauty and the Beast? Feel as old as time. Indeed, right? Nachi, no comment. Giving it an awkward pause for me. All right. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hands down. As we hear a chuckle from Sophie. Matthew, what do you have?
Angela Lansbury.
And Sophie?
I didn't know her name, so I just put Betty White, but I know that's wrong.
Oh yeah, unfortunately, Angela Lansbury was correct for Matthew, and so Sophie misses that one. So now
I
Matthew
hate voice
agrees with
actors.
Sophie.
I don't know any of their names.
I
Yeah,
agree.
Angela Lansbury, iconic singing voice for Beauty and the Beast. So yeah,
I always
uh,
get voice actors wrong.
that's fair.
All right.
Okay, so now we go
The
to the
final
final
question
Go ahead, Matthew.
in the category of family. Which 80s family adventure film, can you find the Fratelli crime family and a pirate by the name of One-Eyed Willie? A very iconic film.
Can I just say
Maybe it is.
never mind. I'm not gonna say anything.
Okay, you can
Not
say it
until
after.
after. I'm gonna
Yeah.
say it after. Yeah.
I'll just say, not the biggest fan of this film, but I respect it. 5.
Excuse you,
Cool.
Albert.
I probably watched it way too late into my life to
Yeah, that's fair.
fence down.
This is a childhood film, definitely.
Let's start with Sophie because she seems to know it.
Goonies.
Okay, and Matthew.
The Goonies.
Yep, both of them getting it right.
I was gonna say I knew it almost immediately when you said action family 80s movie. I was like, it has to be the Goonies.
I
It has to be
know
the Goonies.
so I kind of just guessed.
You've never seen it. I know. I was hoping you would get this wrong, but it's too easy to like, One-Eyed Willie and the Pirates. I'm like, I've talked about this movie with you before, so
Yeah, well, because Sophie getting that right, she keeps the gap at a 3-point differential, not increasing the possibility there. But Matthew only missing one question in round number 1 in that lawyer question that apparently, according to Sophie, is a repeating pattern. So competitors, every time I ask for occupation, always answer lawyer according to Sophie's logic right there. So, but no, Matthew with 7 points, Sophie with 4 points. What do you think of the match so far, Nachi?
Oh, it's fantastic. I actually thought it would be a lot. I thought, based off of what you said about the first round being a decisive thing, that someone would pull away. But it still seems like a few round game. You could come back in the second round.
Yeah, of course, 100%. There's still 2 rounds to go, and we'll see if Sophie can make up ground because she does need to make up ground at this point. So before we show the wheel, why don't you read the rules for round number 2 as I grab the wheel, Nachi?
Yeah, so this is the typical round number 2 where each competitor spins the category wheel and they can respin once, but they have to keep the second spin. And each competitor will get 5 questions chosen from that category, and each questions are worth 2 points, but they can request for a multiple choice option, and that drops it down to 1 point. And if they get it wrong, the opponents can steal for the correct answer.
All right. So, any question before we get to round number 2? Nope. Okay. Well, Matthew, you're currently in the lead. Do you wanna? Actually, we'll reveal the wheel for today before I ask you that. So, for today's wheel, we have Emma Stone, Studio Ghibli, Brad Pitt, Wizarding World, directors, Hugh Jackman, movie release dates, Pixar, and of course, the spinner's and opponent's choice. Matthew, having heard this, do you want to spin first? You want to defer to Sophie?
There's not too much I'm scared of, but I'd rather have Sophie take something off the board first. So,
okay,
I'm good to defer.
Let's see if that strategy pays off. So today's wheel is sponsored by both Dashline and Wikibuy. We got 2 sponsors here today, folks. So the show is thriving well. All right, so Sophie, here will be your first spin. Let's see where it lands on.
no
Pixar.
way. I swear to God, I'm so freaking lucky on this. This is insane. I'm taking it. Of course I'm taking it. This is my strength.
All right, so Nachi, would you like to read the questions for Sophie and Pixar?
Indeed, I will. Question number 1.
And yes, remember that there are steals, so be careful.
Okay, yeah, I know. Don't worry. I know Matthew knows everything I do, so I gotta be careful.
Yeah.
Who voiced Edna Mode in the movie The Incredibles?
Brad Bird.
That is correct for 2 points.
No kips.
No kidding. Very iconic.
On.
All right. Question number 2. In Finding Dory, Dory's tag certifies her to be transferred to an aquarium in what Midwestern city?
I know Matthew knows this one, so I'm going to go multiple choice with this one.
Is it A, Milwaukee, B, Cleveland, C, Indy, D, Chicago?
It's Cleveland.
That is correct for 1 point.
All right.
Trying to claw down that lead. Question number 3. In Cars, Doc Hudson used to be a famous race car. What was his nickname during his racing days?
And before you answer, we do need the full nickname. So yes, just letting you know.
I don't know it off the top of my head. I know that I'm not sure about it. I'm going to do multiple choice just to be absolutely sure.
Is it A, Fantastic Hudson Hornet, B, Ferocious Hudson Hornet, C, Fearsome Hudson Hornet, or D, Fabulous Hudson Hornet?
It's D. It's fabulous.
That is correct.
Okay.
Fabulous answer.
It's a great.
All right. The penultimate question in this round. There we go.
You get to say it after all.
Wait,
What is the name?
Wait, isn't
There's
there
five.
5 questions?
Mhm. This is
Okay,
four.
okay. Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Question number
Go.
4.
Sorry.
What is the name of Mike Wazowski's girlfriend in Monsters, Inc.?
You just need the first name, right?
First name.
Sylvia.
Ooh, that is incorrect.
Matthew,
What?
first you.
Celia May.
That is correct for 2
stop.
points.
Damn it! I hate this. I haven't seen any Pixar movies.
Celia. is the
Sylvia.
correct one.
God damn it.
Sylvia. So
Those one of
close.
the choices too. So yeah.
Yeah.
It's John C. Riley all over again. God damn it.
All right, for the final question in this round. In Coco, what song does Miguel sing during the talent show in an attempt to win and meet Ernesto de la Cruz and his party?
You make me un poco loco, un poquitito loco, un poco loco.
That is correct for 2 points.
I had to sing it. I'm sorry.
Imagine if she started singing and I count down and she didn't submit an answer. How ironic would that be? But yeah, good. Pretty good round for Sophie. That 2-point steal could have been big because that was a 2-point difference, and it swings back to Matthew with that. And now we'll go to Matthew's round and see if the wheel favors him or it will not. We'll see what will happen here. So Matthew, here's your first spin, and it lands on spinner's choice. All right.
Do
so
release dates.
We'll see
I'm not gonna
what he goes with.
Between 2. I know 1 you're less likely to steal, so I think I'm gonna go with directors.
I hate you.
He's going with directors. Interesting choice. All right. So Matthew, are you ready for 5 questions in directors?
Yeah. All right, let's do this.
Okay. First question. Who directed Ice Cube and Kevin Hart in 2014's Ride Along?
Multiple choice.
A. Tim Story. B. Rawson Marshall Turber. C. Steve Pink. D. Brian Levant.
Tim Story.
Tim Story is correct for 1 point.
How do you know these things?
Okay, question 2, and we will give you 20 seconds for this next question.
Okay.
For question 2, who have directed an MCU film, a Jurassic Park film, and a Disney live-action film?
The Holy Trinity.
Joe Johnston.
That is correct for 2 points. That's huge.
Wow.
All right.
Yeah.
Question. Yeah.
I was going
Joe
to say
Johnston.
Captain America, the first Avenger, Rocketeer, and
Jurassic Park 3.
third one. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right. So as we move on to the third question here, in directors, Christopher McQuarrie has directed how many films in the Mission Impossible series?
2.
That is correct for another 2 points right there. This increases the lead to 4. Question 4. Tate Taylor directed what 2011 period drama?
The Help.
Another 2 points correct right there. Making it a 6-point lead. And now here's the last question in directors. Who won Best Director Oscars for the classic films Mr. D Goes to Town and You Can't Take It With You?
Multiple choice.
A. Billy Wilder. B. Frank Capra. C. Frank Lloyd. D. Victor Fleming.
Frank Capra.
Damn it! I actually knew this one.
That is correct. Yeah. I was about to do the fake out, and then Sophie ruined it for me. No,
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
All good. All good.
I got
Yeah,
excited
but-
because this is like the only one I knew from all of those questions, like off the top of my head.
Yeah, you're good. But yeah, with that, go multiple choice a few times, but for the most part, Matthew went with to big 2, and then now the current score is 17-10, a big 7-point lead. What you thinking, Nachi, about this so far?
That was a massive round. I couldn't have guessed that. Round 2 would have been a big decider. Sophie can still claw her way in. Miracles can happen.
She'll need most of her questions right. We'll see if that can happen. If that will happen, but if anything is possible at this point. It's still in game distance right now as we go to round number 3, and I'll just read the rules for you guys. You'll pick 4 numbers that will correspond to 4 random categories. Each competitor will get that 4 question based on those categories, and then as soon as I reveal the categories, you guys get to assign the point value for how much points you want for each of the question. Obviously, the more point value it is, the more difficult the question will be, and there is no multiple choice and stealing in this round. And each competitor still have all your 3 repeats and your challenges. So, any question before we get to round number 3? No. Okay. So, Matthew, you're currently in the lead. Please give us 4 numbers between 1 to 15.
Okay. Can we do 3, 5, 7, and 12?
You took my numbers.
Let's
hate you
maybe
so
maybe
much.
that was on purpose. Maybe there's a tactical thing.
1.
All right, hold on. Give me 1 moment before I ask Sophie her numbers. And she's probably rethinking of new numbers as well. All right. So, Sophie, do you have your 4 numbers?
9, 11, 13, and 15.
9, 11, 13, and 15. Is that correct? Okay. All right. So we'll reveal the categories for Sophie first. Sophie picked the number 9, which corresponds to Judd Apatow films. 11 corresponds to romance. 13 corresponds to James Bond. And 15 corresponds to video game movies.
Jesus Christ. Matthew, you won. That's it. I've lost.
Believe in you.
And
I'm not going to get any of these right.
Matthew, you picked 3, which corresponds to Marvel, films outside of the MCU, Marvel movies.
These are the...
5 corresponds to Samuel L. Jackson. 7 corresponds to Robert Downey Jr.
I hate you. These are the ones I should have gotten.
You almost did pick those numbers, that is true. And 12 is family films. All right, so we'll start with Sophie first if you have decided on how you want to arrange the difficulty.
All right, hold on.
Mhm.
4. It doesn't really matter. I've given up.
It could make the greatest comeback story.
Okay.
Think of all the movie endorsements you can get from this one story.
I literally have no, like, I'm so, like, I maybe have a chance at romance, but the rest, like, zip. So I'm gonna go with 1, video game movies. 2, James Bond. 3, Judd, I don't know his last name.
Yes.
Apatow.
Yes, the comedy guy. And 4, romance.
All right. And Matthew, how would you like to arrange yours?
Okay. Robert Downey Jr. for 1. Samuel L. Jackson for 2. Family films for 3. And Marvel for 4.
All right. So we'll start with Sophie first here.
Yay.
With her 1-pointer, and I'll be reading Sophie. Did I? Yeah, I'll be reading Sophie her question since you asked her in the round 2, and you'll be reading for Nachi. So starting with the 1-pointer in video game movies, are you ready, Sophie?
Sure.
As I find it right here. Here we go. For 1 point, Mila Jovovich starred as Alice, the protagonist in which video game film series?
Film series?
5, 4, 3, 2,
Repeat.
1. Okay, using her first repeat. Let's write it down. All right. Mila Jovovich starred as Alice, the protagonist in which video game film series?
Alice? I've never even heard of this girl.
5, 4.
I give up.
1.
Assassin's
No
Creed.
answer.
I have no idea.
It is incorrect. We were looking for Resident Evil. Resident Evil.
Spooky.
I didn't even know that was a video game.
I think that's probably one of the few video game film that has a.
How is that a 1-pointer? Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I wouldn't have gotten that.
What the hell, man?
It's a big video game film, and it's probably one of the few that have multiple installments. If you need the explanation, so yeah. And Mila Jovovich is the star of it. There's no other star. Okay, so we'll go on with her 2-pointer because she mathematically she's still in the game. For her 2 points in James Bond.
Great.
All right. For 2 points. Which Daniel Craig Bond film opens during the Day of the Dead festival in Mexico?
Spectre. Oh my god, I knew this.
Hey,
For 2 points. That is correct.
Yes. That's the
Cutting
only thing
down-
I remember about that movie.
Me too.
Cutting down the lead to 5 point here. But there are 2 questions left, both 3 and 4. And if I'm doing my math correctly, she does need both of them to stay in the game to throw it back to Matthew. So for 3 points and 4 points apiece, 3 points in Judd Apatow. We'll go with that first. And your question is,
Great.
who directed the Judd Apatow produced film Pineapple Express?
Oh god, I know this. I watched this like 3 weeks ago. Oh, it's a funny movie too.
It is a very funny movie.
I love that movie.
Seth
And I like
Rogen, yeah.
pineapples.
5, 4.
How many repeats do I
3.
have left?
You have 2 repeats left.
2.
2.
2. Repeat.
Okay. All right. Using your second repeat, you have 1 left. Where's the question? Here you go. In Judd Apatow films, who directed the Judd Apatow produced film Pineapple Express?
Is it?
5,
Is his name
4.
David Green?
3. What's your final answer? 2.
Yeah, let's go with that. I remember that being there. I don't remember.
And your winner, by way of technical knockout, it
Great.
is a mysterious one, Matthew Chen. It was David Gordon Green. David.
Are you
Gordon
serious? Can I challenge that?
I was gonna challenge it.
Would you like to challenge?
Can I challenge that? What the
Okay,
heck?
what's
I got his
what's
name.
what's
It's David Gordon
your challenge is that you got the name right? Is that what your challenge is?
Well, I didn't know I needed the full name. Come on.
Okay, well, we need what your official like the wording for the challenge is. What's your official wording? Did you?
Okay, well, I mean, you said who directed it? I said David Green, right?
Okay, so your challenge is that you got the answer right, and David Green should have been accepted.
I mean,
okay, all
are
right.
so
If that's your,
weird with
if that's
wording.
your challenge, then
Yeah,
we'll,
why not?
we'll
I
go-
mean, why not? I have nothing to
Okay.
lose.
All right. We'll go to the challenge, and we'll be back one. Okay, so we are back from the challenge here. Me and Nachi had a call. Hold on, let's just do that. This is irritating. Nope, I cannot get this right. How do I do this? God damn it! Hold on.
Let me do it.
Nope, that's not it. I'm so confused.
Why doesn't it just like
There we go.
Matthew
Okay,
is
there you
just
go.
always on that? Yeah.
Yeah, because he's logged into the. All right, so. And yeah, the live chat was saying that they like the music. It is from the. It's called Daybreak and got it from Community, the TV show. Anyway,
Oh yeah.
Oh, it's a nice song. I like it.
I was just like,
anyway, me and Nachi called and we discussed the ruling, and unfortunately, we cannot give you the point because David Green is a different person. And if we will to accept David Green, then it will open a whole lot of possibilities of different challenges of people saying like, I cannot think of a three actor name.
Paul Anderson.
Right?
I mean, Paul Thomas Anderson. That's one I
Like
can
Paul-
think of right now.
Yeah, that I don't. We
Or
could-
Michael
we
B.
couldn't-
Jordan.
Yeah, like those things will mean that they couldn't get accepted too, and that's just an unfair
Yeah,
ruling on our
I
part.
know. I was gonna lose it. It was just why not?
It's
But Michael B. Jordan
fair
and
challenge.
Michael Jordan are different people, and they weren't in Space Jam. Well, one of them was, yeah.
One of them was, yeah.
So it was a good challenge, good use of the challenge.
close.
Unfortunately, we cannot give you the point. And with that, once again, and your winner by way of technical knockout, it is the mysterious one, Matthew Chen. Okay, so okay, guys, let's put you guys backstage in one moment. So Nachi, what do you think of that match?
I was honestly rooting for Sophie to make a big comeback. I mean, I don't care who wins. But it's just for the spectacle, you know, like a great comeback, an underdog story.
Yeah. Oh, here, if I were to make this in terms of like a storyline kind of thing, and I want to make it a more fun game, I would 100% accept David Green. But once again, it's going to get controversial. People's going to get pissed, and I feel like the ruling of you need the full name to get it right. It's like is the fair, and I have to be impartial to this kind of thing, not just to make it like a more intense game. But yeah, it was a good match. Matthew just had I think Sophie played well. I think Matthew just had a better game in terms of a performance standpoint. So
yeah, that second round steal, that was a big one.
that was big. Yeah, the 2-point swing. All right, and with that, let's just talk to the current winner for today's match. Moving on to the quarterfinal tournament, it is the mysterious one, Matthew Chen. Matthew, first of all, how are you feeling after today's win?
No, I'm feeling great. I'm glad I got to play Sophie because I've been wanting to do that since I brought her in, and it was great to.
Yeah. What do you think was the big turning point for you here today? You played a fantastic game. I'll just say that. But what do you think was the big key point here?
I think when she missed that Pixar question, I got a big 2-point steal, and then I got spinner choice myself, so really helped me help boost my points.
Yeah, and yeah, definitely. And with this now, you're moving on to. Let me get the other bracket. You're now moving on to the semifinals here, and you'll be facing Sasha Nixon in 2 weeks' time, something around 2 weeks' time. So, what are you feeling about that one going into the semifinals?
I'm a little scared, but I've beaten her before. So
have you?
Yeah.
Oh, right, you did. Yeah, you did.
So yeah, well, I'm excited with the new format and how that will change things.
Yeah. If you have anything else, I'm not sure. Do you have any question that you would like to ask Matthew?
No, I'm loving the confidence that like he's going in for the next round and he knows he beat her once and
yeah,
he's gunning for that finals.
Got the swagger right there. Yeah. Well, Matthew, you have anything else you would like to say either to your fellow competitor here today or to the audience or whatever?
No, great game. Yeah, it was great, and thank you for hosting.
Yeah, absolutely. All right then. So with that, let's move you out to the backstage and let's bring up Sophie Planos. Sophie, yeah, you played a good game here today. But first question, how are you feeling? How are you feeling?
Well, some of those round one questions were a little tricky, and I knew Matthew was going to get most of those because some of them tailored to the older questions, like classics, and I was like, I don't know anything about that. But no, it was good. I just screwed up on that Monsters Inc. question. Dang it! Honestly, if I would have gotten that question right, it would have been a little different. And Matthew also stole my numbers. So, for round 3, no, it's okay. I don't know if that was strategy or he's like seeing some of my old past like videos. He's like, oh, she always picks 3, 5, 7.
It could be.
It could be, but he's told me he hasn't studied. So unless that was a strategy he used, but no, it was a great game. I knew I probably wasn't going to win. I was definitely the underdog coming into this game, but no, it was fun. He had an incredible game. He got really lucky in round 2 with the spinner's choice, and I got really unlucky with those numbers. Like those, it was tough.
Yeah, I can tell probably those round 3 categories wasn't the most favorable for you.
At all.
You managed to still put up a good fight. Once again, like I said earlier on, I think you played a good game. I think Matthew just played a way better game. It's just not your day here today.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of the game I played against Cole. Like my first game. He had an incredible game, and I just wasn't good enough.
Yeah. Before I just gonna have to ask, what was going through your mind as you answered that last question and when you decided to challenge it?
Well, I knew it was something along those lines. I just didn't know if he had a long, like, I know there's directors like Paul Thomas Anderson, like people with middle names that they have, like that's their name. Like you mentioned, like Michael B. Jordan or anyone who has like a middle name that they say. And I knew it was a longer director name, but I wasn't sure. So I was like, oh, well, let's go. Because this guy also did Halloween.
He did, the new one, yeah.
He also did Halloween, yeah. So I knew of him. I just didn't know his full name. So that's what I went with. And it was a hit or miss. Like, yeah, I was like, why not challenge? Because it's close enough. But in the end, I knew you guys were not going to accept that because he's credited with the full name. Like, that it's not fair to give it to me. So I completely understand that decision.
it is really close. And for some reason, if I'm not wrong, you did encounter something like this with John C. Riley in your first match. So it's like the middle name. So I don't know.
I know
Maybe
it's
maybe
terrible.
middle name is something that you have to.
I know, but no, it's just the names in general of people. Like I make up their own for myself to remember.
Yeah.
Doesn't come handy with trivia, but whatever.
Yeah, well, you gave me the opportunity to play the new challenge music, so a lot of people in Black Cat are probably happy about that. But yeah,
Yes. I also have something else to say. When you showed that bracket, how fast did it take you to add Matthew Chen's name, or did you have
I
already both made?
I have both made already. In here.
Okay. I thought you were like,
if you were doing it already. Sophie.
I thought you were like, oh, Matthew's gonna win. I'm just gonna have that ready just in
No.
case.
Like first round, he decides
I
to.
literally have both versions available.
Ah, okay.
But yeah.
Oh, damn. I should have. Damn, that would have been fun to play Sasha. Dang it. Matthew. That was tough. But I loved playing Matthew. It was great. I'm hoping I could face him again for revenge.
Yeah. Here's what I can say though. I've made the decision. I haven't finalized it, but what I can guarantee is every single competitor who has made it to the quarterfinals of the tournament will definitely play again in singles for the remainder of the year. Everyone else, it will be depend on the schedule and how I'm able to fit it in. But everyone who's made it to the quarterfinal will 100% be playing again. So you'll be guaranteed another match against who? Will probably against one of the others in the quarterfinals. We'll see.
Okay.
But yeah, would you like to say anything else to Matthew or to the crowd? Or
I mean, yeah, Matthew put up a great fight. It was great to play against him. That Peaches thing was hilarious. It was a great game. And thanks for having me and thanks for hosting, you guys.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so thank you, Sophie. Okay, so Nachi, final thoughts on this before we wrap up.
This game is brutal. Honestly, you can have a hot streak, but you can't expect the other person to not have a hot streak. It's just you might have the greatest day, but somewhere on Earth, there's another person also having a greatest day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and yeah, it always sucks to, especially if you lose down to a technicality like a challenge kind of thing. It always sucks because I've experienced that not in this league, in a different league. Experienced that fucking hurts. I had to swear that, but yeah, it always sucks. But I just noticed this when I'm looking to the score sheet. Matthew only missed one question throughout the whole game, which is incredible.
That is insane.
So yeah, we'll see. Once again, this is the final four that now we see it. Albert Viradharma versus Andrew Just happening next week, and then the week after we have Matthew Chen versus Sasha Nixon. The winner will face each other, and then eventually they'll face the current champion. I wonder who it is in a 5-round matchup. So this will be an exciting rest of the tournament right here.
I am. Watching this tournament made me really excited to come back and play again. Mm-hmm. I think I'm getting a little too rusty.
We'll see what happens as we see the final four once again in this upcoming weeks. We'll see what happens in there. But yeah, if you have nothing else to say, I guess we'll wrap up.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So once again, thank you for Matthew. Thank you for Sophie for playing and being great sport. Thank you for everyone in the live audience chiming in, nodding their head to the challenge music. This is my favorite. Where's this comment right now? I'm going to challenge more often if it means that I get to hear this just every time. We'll see about that. Oh, that's my favorite comment of the day.
That was a banger.
Yeah. Once again, thank you guys for watching, and thank you for the competitors, and thank you Nachi for being a great co-host. Hopes to see you soon again, obviously in the championship match and in the teams division starting very soon. So once again, guys, that has been Nachi, that's been Sophie, that has been Matthew, and this has been Albert Viradharma. And until next time, in Real Trivia Face Off.